Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling, well, a really interesting pair of sources.
Yeah, they seem totally unrelated at first glance, don't
They
they?
really do. But we're going to explore how they connect. It's all about experimentation, creation, and sharing what you find.
That's the thread. So we've got one source looking at a space for, cutting-edge AI experiments. Think Google Labs.
Right. And the other, completely different. It's a blog, more about personal reflections, wellness, life stuff.
Called the Comfort Zone Project. Very personal.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack these different labs or projects. How are people experimenting, whether it's with super advanced tech or just their own comfort zones?
And what does all that tell us about curiosity? About sharing knowledge, finding that common ground?
Exactly. It's easy to see them as separate worlds, but maybe the underlying drive is similar.
Well, let's dig in. The curiosity, the building, the sharing. Maybe it's all connected.
Okay, let's unpack this. Starting with the tech side, Google Labs.
Right. So the source positions Google Labs pretty clearly. It's where Google showcases its new AI projects using their latest model.
Kind of like their public R&D showroom.
Yeah, exactly. A workshop for what's next in AI, but one you can actually peek into.
The source lists some pretty ambitious stuff they're showing off. There's Flow,
Yeah.
an AI filmmaking tool.
Yes, Flow. The idea is letting people create, cinematic video clips, scenes, stories.
With consistent visuals.
Yeah, that's the goal. Using models like VO3, their high-end video generation AI, making complex video easier.
That sounds pretty wild.
Yeah.
Then there's Project Mariner.
Ah, Mariner. That's research, looking into how humans and AI agents might interact starting inside a web browser.
So like AI helpers in your browser.
Potentially, yeah. How we might collaborate with AI right where we do most of our digital work. It's exploratory.
Got it. And Synthide Detector, that sounds useful right now.
Absolutely. It's a tool designed to help figure out if an image or audio or video was made using Google's AI.
For transparency. Makes sense.
Exactly. Addresses that whole, is this real question with synthetic media.
Okay, and then moving into actual creation tools. Stitch.
Stitch sounds fascinating. You give it prompts or maybe even an image.
And it makes UI designs.
Yep.
And code.
Yep. UI designs and the front-end code. And you can refine it using AI chat, then export it.
To Figma, it says.
Right, directly into tools designers are already using, putting AI right in the workflow.
And Jules for coding.
Jules is an AI coding agent. It works asynchronously, meaning like in the background.
To do what exactly?
Automate GitHub tasks, fixing bugs, writing tests, maybe adding small features, like an AI pair programmer.
Interesting. So it spans creative stuff like film, practical coding, design, even detection. But there's also lighter stuff mentioned.
Yeah, lightweight demos and experiments designed for fun. That sounds like maybe more accessible things, less heavy lifting.
Like GenType, crafting AI alphabets.
Right, or collaborations with Google Arts and Culture, National Gallery mixtape.
Personalized soundtracks for paintings.
Yeah, or Talking Tours AI audio guides in Street View, using AI to interact with culture differently.
And Food Mood, a recipe generator.
A playful one, it seems. And Say What You See, a tool specifically to help people learn how to write better prompts for image AI.
So it's not just building the AI, but also helping people use it creatively, teaching the skills.
Definitely. And that connects to the lab sessions, our source highlights, showing collaborations.
Right, bringing in outside creators, musicians like Shankar Mahadevan, Justin Tranter, using the Music AI sandbox, MusicFX.
Jacob Collier working with MusicFX DJ. It's hands-on experimentation.
And visual artists, too, using Imagen 2, their image model, to reimagine Alice in Wonderland.
Eric Carter, Haruko Hayakawa, Eric Kru, Jonna X. Yeah. And even an educator, Dan Schiffman, testing an AI tool for teaching coding, SchiffBot.
So these sessions really show the lab isn't just Google's internal thing. It's about seeing how AI fits into real creative processes.
Absolutely. And that outreach goes further. They mentioned community events.
Like a Makeathon at USC, a creative breakfast.
Yeah. And a community gallery, showing off work made by people in their Discord or on X. They even name drop some creators.
Like a Prussian Blue 4 at Emily Vamp.
Right. It's about building that community around the tools, around the act of AI experimentation itself.
Okay, so that paints a picture of Google Labs. Big projects, fun demos, collaborations, community, all focused on AI experiments.
Yeah, a large-scale, tech-focused space for building, exploring digital tools, and creative outputs.
Right. So we've been deep in AI, digital tools, structured tech experiments. Let's completely switch gears now.
Okay.
Our second source, a totally different kind of exploration, Much more personal.
This brings us to the Comfort Zone project. And yeah, as presented, this isn't about code or algorithms at all.
No, it's about one person's experiences, their reflections. Feels like a public journal almost.
The source mentions its structure diary entries, perspectives, DIY sections, and it centers on the author, Diana Edelman.
Describes a travel writer, social media expert, all-around badass. Okay. Suggests someone observant, good at sharing stories.
And the diary entries seem pretty raw. One from 2017 talks about an emotional detox during a juice cleanse, titled, "The Universe Has My Back," right?
Yeah. And another one discusses EMDR therapy.
Right. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. A specific therapy often for trauma. She talks about dealing with irrational feelings.
And the title, What the F#% is EMDR and Does It Work? Definitely candid.
It really is. These are explorations of, internal states, therapy, physical stuff. Then the perspectives entries. They look outward more, but still very personal.
Like the guide for men on dating apps?
Yeah, reflecting on that whole scene. Or an entry from late 2016 arguing why the year wasn't all bad, personally speaking. All the reasons 2016 did not suck.
Finding the personal positives. And the DIY section seems more practical.
Looks like it. An entry from 2014 about finding health info on Facebook.
Which was a big thing then. And another from around the same time on using weight loss apps. Tracking calories, activity.
Yeah, documenting a personal effort. So you see this range. Physical stuff like cleanses, weight tracking, emotional, psychological things like therapy, reflection, navigating social things like dating, all through her personal lens.
Okay, so yeah, we have a Google Labs, huge tech company, AI tools, digital creation, public demos, tech community.
Right.
And then we have the Comfort Zone project.
Right.
One person's blog, juice cleanses, therapy, dating apps, personal reflections, shared writing.
Exactly.
How do these even relate? They seem like opposites.
That really is the question, isn't it? Surface level, worlds apart. One's corporate, digital, grand-scale public. The other's individual, introspective, personal blog public.
One builds tools for creation. The other creates written accounts of experience.
Okay, look at the underlying process, the motivation. Aren't they both a kind of lab, a space for exploration?
Okay, I see where you're going. Google Labs is a literal R&D lab. The Comfort Zone project is like a personal lab for exploring life. Self.
Exactly, and both involve experimenting, just differently. Google Labs, structured, iterative, data-driven testing models.
Whereas the Comfort Zone project,
Yeah.
it's trial and error with wellness, trying therapy, testing a viewpoint. The feedback is maybe self-reflection or reader comments.
Precisely, not algorithm metrics. And both involve creation. Google Labs makes tools, art, music, code, tangible digital things.
And the Comfort Zone project creates narratives, reflections, insights, blog posts. It's creating understanding, articulating experience.
Shared perspective. And critically, both involve sharing. Google Labs shares via demos, projects, galleries, sharing the tools, the AI's output.
While the Comfort Zone project shares personal findings through blog posts, sharing the process, the personal insights from the experiments.
The why behind sharing might differ, tech adoption versus personal connection, but that act of making it public, it's there in both.
And that name, the Comfort Zone project, it clicks now. Both involve pushing boundaries, stepping outside a comfort zone. Google pushes AI limits, human-AI interaction.
And Diana pushes her own boundaries, trying challenging wellness things, vulnerable therapy, sharing deeply personal stuff online, pushing personal experience, public vulnerability.
So,
Okay.
despite the massive differences, domain, scale, output, maybe it is the same fundamental drives. To explore, try things, make something from it,
Whether that something is an AI model or a piece of writing.
and then share it. Share the creation, the learnings.
It really highlights how that core human impulse, explore, create, share, shows up everywhere. From cutting-edge tech labs to deeply personal blogs.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway? We've looked at these two incredibly different kinds of projects. One, super technical, AI-focused.
The other, deeply personal, focused on well-being and life experience.
But when you look closer, they're both spaces for experimentation, for creation based on that experimentation, and for sharing the result.
Yeah, whether the result is an AI tool or a blog post about a juice cleanse, there's an audience, there's engagement, there's something being put out into the world based on exploration.
It really feels like that drive experiment, create, understand, share, is just fundamental. It takes so many forms.
And thinking bigger picture, these sources just give us glimpses, right, into how people try to understand the world, inside and out, and how crucial sharing that process seems to be.
It makes you wonder, what other labs like this are out there? Maybe less obvious ones.
Yeah.
In communities, families, even just our own heads.
Yeah.
And what could we learn if we looked at them this way?
Absolutely. And here's a final thought, maybe something for you to chew on. We see this structured, iterative approach in places like Google Labs, right? Define, test, refine.
Yeah.
So could consciously applying some of those ideas, maybe setting clearer intentions, creating feedback loops, iterating, could that actually enrich how we explore things in totally different areas, like, personal growth, creativity, understanding ourselves better?
Hmm.
Could the tech lab mindset inform the personal lab?